Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the amazing realm of bizarre news. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl. Now, roll tape!
Now it's time for the realm of bizarre news, but first, the trivia question of the day. Let me extricate it here from its paper prison. That question: in which nation is 000 used as the equivalent of our emergency 911? Now it's multiple choice, inverse alphabetical order. Is that Zimbabwe, Switzerland, Paraguay, Japan, India, Canada, or Australia? Now the only prize for the correct answer, one pat on the back that you'll have to administer to yourself. If you want $1 million, call Meredith Vieira, but please do not call us. We do not have any operators to take your calls. If we did, we still could not afford prizes. Certainly not $1 million. I'll take a sip of water and be back momentarily with the correct answer. Okay, I'm calling time. Let's take a look at the 7 possibilities. The nation where you dial 000 for emergency. Is it Zimbabwe, Switzerland, Paraguay, Japan, India, Canada, or Australia? Is that your final answer, Paraguay? No, it's Australia, down under. And speaking of down under, there's recently a man in Adelaide, South Australia, who came out to find that his car once again would not start. So he went in and got a sledgehammer and he smashed it to bits. Now I submit that you guys out there, when your car doesn't start, you don't have the guts to smash it to bits with a sledgehammer. Okay, I heard that most of you don't have a sledgehammer in your garage. I grant that, but you have a hammer, and you haven't taken the hammer to it. So I want to recommend you get yourself some guts. I don't care if you grow them in the garden, buy them at a swap meet, or make them in the lab. You get yourself some guts. The next time your car doesn't start, you show it who is boss. Yeah. And now speaking about that cadaver for cash scheme, it occurred in Rhodes, Poland. 2 doctors and 2 paramedics have been arrested. What they did was take critically injured patients and deny them the medical care they needed so they would die, perhaps even helping them along a little with the wrong chemicals or medication. And then they take those bodies to a local mortician who gave them a kickback fee. Hopefully, this is confined to Poland and not occurring in the USA. And here we have a crocodile. This pertains to possibly the most unusual case of survival from that recent tragic tsunami in Southeast Asia. There's a man, 69, in Sri Lanka, who was swept into the river that flowed beside his home. He thought he was about to drown when he grabbed onto what he thought was a log. But you guessed it, it was a crocodile. And he still held on for dear life for 7 hours. Finally, the croc brought him ashore safely, did not harm him. He believes this is a croc who knows him, the croc that used to come up the river to his garden. And you know, crocs are fairly intelligent. They say that at Crocodile Farm, they will respond to their names. Yes, the most unusual case of survival from the tsunami. And here we have some liquid skin. This pertains to a gal down in Martinsburg, West Virginia. She had cut her heel, so she applied some of this liquid skin, did not notice that it was dripping onto the floor, and she actually had her foot fused to the floor. Called 911. They came out, had to use baby oil, and it took them an hour to finally free her foot from the floor. Now I think liquid skin's a great idea, but if you're going to use it, put your foot on a pillow. Then if you get your foot stuck, it's only to the pillow and you're not stuck to the floor. Yes. Here we have 2 lovebirds, very cute, down in Johannesburg, South Africa. 2 lovebirds have adopted a baby rat. They have him in their nest, they're feeding him, and he gets on the perch. His name is Roddy. He thinks he's a bird. They think he's a bird. It's the first case we've ever had of a bird-rat relationship that we know of, beyond belief. And here's a fish. Down in Del Rio, Nicaragua, 3 fishermen were on a boat, and one of them said, "The next fish I catch, I'm going to swallow live." And he did catch the fish, and he did swallow it live, but it choked him to death, yes. Now, I believe I told you previously about a man in Akron, Ohio, who was at a friend's apartment, reached into the goldfish bowl, plopped a goldfish in his mouth, and it choked him to death. Please, we've lost too many viewers already. I know these guys weren't our viewers, but we don't want this to happen to you. Do not swallow fish live. Cook them first. Thank you. And here we have a cow. This pertains to a very heart-wrenching story in Bruck, Switzerland. A farmer died, but he asked on his deathbed that his favorite female cow, Maya, and her recent calf, Tony, be spared the abattoir, the slaughterhouse. So the son held a fundraiser, gathered together $175, all that was needed to send the two to a retirement farm. A stirring story of men loving cows, yes. And here we have a TP tube, and it refers to a clever guy down in Shreveport, Louisiana. He fashioned a gun out of a TP tube, and he was able to fool the bank teller into giving him some money, and he left. But he wasn't as clever as he thought, because he hadn't noticed that the bank was directly across from a sheriff's office, and they had noticed him casing the bank. So when he came out, he's immediately arrested. That's why I said with TP tubes, don't use them as guns. Take them and throw them at your friends and relatives. It's fun, harmless, and nobody gets arrested, yes. And that concludes this edition of the Realm of Bizarre News.
Now until next time, may the power of the cosmos be with you. Yes, yes, yes.